Are you ready to travel to Italy for the first time or want to return and experience it the right way? Get ready for the ultimate Italian trip itinerary that will change your life. From Milan to Rome and everything in between, we'll cover the must-see cities, delicious food, and the day-to-day route itinerary that will make your Italian experience unforgettable. You're starting in Milan. Buy your round trip ticket now. This will be the most economical long-haul flight option arriving in Milan. The other option is flying to Rome, but we'll talk about that later. For the sake of this, your ultimate trip itinerary, it begins in Milan. But wait, what is this ultimate Italian trip itinerary that will change your life? Well, I'll get to the life-changing stuff later, so stick with me. The ultimate trip itinerary, that's a trip itinerary where you're not too fussed about having a short 5 to 7 day trip here to Italy. It's more comprehensive, yet efficient. The amount of time you need, we'll talk about that soon. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Milan. Off to the left, you'll see the cathedral. Off to the right, you'll see a big plate of risotto Milanese. Benvenuti in Italia. Yes, you're in Milan, the fashion capital, the financial capital. You're gonna have the cotolletto Milanese, that's veal breaded, fried in a pan. You're gonna eat the great risotto from the Po Valley with saffron. You're gonna walk through the Teatro Scala. You're gonna go see the Last Supper painting, and you're gonna see the gallery and walk through it, the big open air shopping center, and then come across the beautiful cathedral. You're gonna make your way up to the Duomo there in Milan, see Milan from the top of the Duomo Cathedral, and soak it all in. One morning, you're gonna wake up, walk through the Milanese streets, make your way to the train station, board a local train north to Como, the silk capital of Italy, and once where every rich and famous person bought a second home. There, have a nice dinner, a drink, just chill out and enjoy the lake views. The next morning, you're boarding a boat ferry taking you north to Bellagio. It's the most picturesque and stunning town in all of Italy's lakes. Walk up and down the little paths that crisscross and cut their way through the town. Then find a nice lunch spot and enjoy lunch right there on Lake Como in Bellagio. Next, you're back on the boat ferry heading back towards Como. While on the lake with the mountains on both sides, you're spotting the villas lakeside. Hear that? That's the train whistle blowing. We're boarding a train to the land of lovers. Yes, we're in Italy, but we're heading to Romeo and Juliet's place in Verona. I love this little city for its well-preserved Roman arena. The spritz, yes, we're in Veneto now, so drink up, and the potato dumpling gnocchi pasta. My suggestion, tour the Roman arena. Go to Juliet's balcony, fall in love. Get dinner and drinks back there in Piazza Bra in front of the arena or on one of the little mini side streets there in Verona. You might have guessed by now, the train is your mode of transportation. Talk about stress-free traveling. Every city has its train station there in the center. Along the way, from town to town, you'll have time to upload social media posts to make your family jealous and sip a little glass of wine. And oh, did I mention the food and restaurant car? The train just arrived in Venice. We're at the Santa Lucia train station. You walk out and right in front of you is this massive canal. Boats that are like buses and taxis to take you wherever you need to go. Or walk over all the little bridges that take you over all the little canals and weave your way through this iconic city. Chill out, get another spritz. Yes, we're still in the almighty Veneto region. Set in one of the squares. Don't go to Piazza San Marco, that's too touristy, and we're saving that for tomorrow. The next morning, wake up before dawn and get out there early and enjoy Venice without all the tourists. Walk to Piazza San Marco, St. Mark's Square, get your photo, ideally, if there's water in it, up to your knees. Then, over to Ponte Rialto, the bridge, not on the bridge, but with the bridge behind you, get your photo there. Then make your way to find some gondolas. Get your photo with the gondolas behind you, or better yet, splurge, take a gondola ride. You're in Venice, and this is the ultimate Italian trip itinerary. You're on the train, relaxing your feet, en route to Bologna, home of good Italian eats. Think prosciutto, Parmigiano cheese, lasagne, tagliatelle a ragu. As they say, Bologna, come for the food, stay for the food. Go to Piazza del Nettuno, see one of my favorite bronze statues in all of Italy. Right in there, you're gonna be able to see the unfinished facade of the church, San Petronio. You're gonna be able to see how they would cover these church facades with marble because it's still unfinished. Climb to the top of the clock tower. There, you'll get a panoramic view of all of Bologna and Emilia-Romagna, the region you're in now. And you'll also be able to see those two leaning towers. One is leaning so much it could fall over before you get there. Drinks in the Quadrilatero. This is this old medieval market area. You're gonna walk through there, explore everything, find a place to sit down, sip a little drink. We're not in Veneto anymore, but you could still get a spritz. Research your restaurant because this could be your best dinner in the entire Italian trip. In the morning, you're not in a rush. Stop somewhere, get a cappuccino and cornetto, and then make your way to the train station. It's not directly in the center of town, but you got time. You're on the train, starting to look out the window after the tunnels take you through the Apennine Mountains. You'll spot rolling green country hills. That's Tuscany, and we're on our way to Florence. Think schiacciata, pasta with wild boar ragu sauce, bistecca fiorentina, and gallons of gelato and Brunello and Chianti wine. Top on your list, well, seeing the statue of David, going up to the top of the cupola that's at the top of the main cathedral, spending a couple of hours in the Uffizi Art Gallery, and catching a sunset up at Piazzale Michelangelo, and then one morning waking up and going through the Mercato Centrale to gorge yourself on local food. You're getting on a regional train at the Florence train station, making your way to La Spezia. You're gonna spend 2 nights there because the next day you're making a day trip to Cinque Terre, where the land collides with the Med and it's spectacular. Every view looks like a postcard. From La Spezia, you're gonna take an even smaller train to the little different 5 lands and tour the towns. Or better yet, at the first place, hire a boat, get a boat tour, go on the water, see Cinque Terre away from the crowds, and take it all in. Now back in La Spezia, the next day, you're taking the train on your way back to Florence, stopping in Pisa for a whirlwind tour to go see the famous Leaning Tower of Pisa. Get your photo there, holding up the tower, and get the heck out of town, back to Florence. I would suggest you recoup and recover 1 night there in Florence before our next destination. You're up early in the morning at the Santa Maria Novella train station in Florence, sipping a cappuccino and admiring the marble there at the train station. You check the train table. Yeah, the little screen there, your train is on time. With about 30 minutes to go, you walk towards the platform, boarding the high-speed train towards Napoli. Yes, Naples. And you say, well, what about Rome? I'll get to that because we're heading to have some of the best damn pizza in the entire world. Grazie. Napoli gifted the world one of mankind's most significant contributions, the pizza. In Naples, you're walking around, walking off that pizza, walking the Spaccanapoli street, then book a day trip to see the Amalfi Coast by boat. Back in Naples, you're gonna want to get some spaghetti alla puttanesca. Enjoy that, enjoy the day. Towards the end of the day, get up to San Martino, see the city from above. Afterwards, walk down through the Spanish Quarter. It's one of the best neighborhoods in all of Italy. And there also you can check out the Diego Maradona Shrine. And one morning before leaving, get the baba, the sweet pastry, enjoy the morning with a pastry and a coffee, and on the way out of town, get a fried pizza. You didn't think we'd skip Rome, did you? I just had to take you to Naples to get some pizza. Before we dive into Rome, first, if you're enjoying this video, please hit that like button down below. It helps so much. Also, I know a lot of you aren't yet subscribed, so if you're not, take a moment and hit that subscribe button. That way you're not missing out on any of the upcoming videos, and you're helping me grow the channel to get this content out to other food and travel lovers like us. Rome, it's a food lover's paradise, home of the ancient empire. It's the only place in the world where even the ruins look glamorous. One morning at dawn, make your way to the Colosseum. This is where you want to get that perfect photo that's going to be framed at home for years to come. Find a tour guide, or if you booked in advance, get inside the Colosseum and do the tour. With that same tour guide, he'll take you over to see the Roman Forum. Make that your morning, and if you plan it right, you can get over to the Vatican Museum and the Sistine Chapel in the afternoon. Now another morning and another early call. You're gonna wake up at dawn. You're out there already at the Spanish Steps before all the crowds are around and you're getting your photos. Then you're over to the Trevi Fountain, because there you really wanna get before all the crowds and tourists show up. You wanna get your photo there in front of the famous fountain. Only in this fountain you can throw some coins in, get photos from different angles, and then make your way out of there over towards the Pantheon. It's a few blocks away. On the way, you're finally gonna get a coffee and some breakfast. Stop in a little bar for a cappuccino and a cornetto, and then on your way to the world's largest reinforced concrete dome. It used to be a temple to honor the gods. Now it's a burial ground for famous artists and former kings. After you're done there, walking around, make your way to the nearby Baroque masterpiece, Piazza Navona, this big oval piazza. Walk around, take photos, look at the fountains, maybe stop in for some lunch there in the piazza. Towards the end of the evening, you're making your way over the river to Trastevere, the little neighborhood. Get dinner and drinks in that neighborhood and call it a day. What about the food? Well, try the Roman pizza, but we're gonna focus in more on the pasta, the holy trinity of pasta: carbonara, cacio e pepe, and our martigiana. Eat them all. Now, what about the length of this trip? Remember I said we talk about that and why this is life-changing? Well, we're gonna get into that. First, I wanna let you know, if all this seems overwhelming, don't worry. I created an e-guide, a PDF e-guide that you can download, have in your pocket offline on your phone for when you're traveling around Italy. It's called Italy Insider. It has everything in there, from booking hotels and Airbnbs, how to get to and from Italy, how to get around Italy once you're here, the best time of years to visit, and what to see and do. There's a link to download it in the description below. Now, what about the length? Well, this is the ultimate Italian trip itinerary, so it's gonna take some time. You're gonna need a couple of days in Milan, one up in Como, one in Verona, one in Venice, one in Bologna, two in Florence, two in La Spezia to go see Cinque Terre, and then two down in Naples, and three back up in Rome. I don't think I've left out anything, so it's around 15 days or 2 weeks. Now, if you find a good ticket, you can book your return ticket home from Rome. If not, you're gonna need an extra day to get back up to Milan Malpensa Airport. Another option is you can book in and out of Rome, do your round trip ticket to Rome, and then I think you see how you can modify the itinerary to suit your needs. I'm gonna leave the links to the two major train operators in the description below. For the train tickets, you only need to book 1 week, 5 days, or maybe just 3 days in advance for these train tickets, so don't stress about that. Now, could you make this trip shorter? Yes, you could. You could perhaps cut out that one day up in Como, or cut out that day in Verona, or the day in Bologna, or heck, in the end, don't get the world's best pizza down in Naples. Cut out the 2 days in Naples. But then it would just be an Italian trip itinerary, and it wouldn't be the ultimate Italian trip itinerary. You remember I said we talk about how this itinerary is life-changing? Well, if you look over all the cities we visited, all the food we ate, I think the answer becomes quite clear. If you're pressed for time, I get it, and you want to know the only 3 cities you need to visit here in Italy according to a local, watch this video next.